Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ebron. This is episode 15 of our lessons. On this episode, I'm going to teach you how to remove FRP from Huawei devices, especially Honor devices. I know when it comes to Huawei devices, it becomes so difficult to remove FRP, but today I'm going to walk you through how to remove FRP on Huawei devices using unlocktool, because I know most of you, the only tool you have is unlocktool. So it is about time I teach you how to remove FRP on Huawei devices. So if today is your first time watching my videos, kindly give me a follow. Also subscribe, press notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I post a video. So without further ado, let's dive into how we remove FRP. So before I go to the computer, I would like to enlighten you on few information before we dive into the computer in a minute, okay? So what I want you to know about Huawei devices is that there's something called fastboot mode, which people don't really know about fastboot mode. But when it comes to FRP or flashing Huawei devices, fastboot mode plays a key role in Huawei devices. In as much COM port is there, there's also a very chance to remove FRP using the fastboot mode. So how do you get into fastboot mode? So for Huawei devices, most of them, the device supposed to be off and then you hold volume down. Connect USB cable, keep holding volume down, and you will see the Android logo, which is yellow on your screen. That is fast boot mode. So when you get to this fast boot mode, you can see under the logo it is written FRP locked. So there's no way you can get in the phone unless you unlock the FRP. And one thing also about Huawei devices are most of them, they don't write the model number at the back of the phone. So how do you know the model you are holding if you are not a professional, which you work on devices all the time and it is your first time? How do you know what kind of model you are holding? Secondly, there's also something called hardware ID. It is also known as device model, right? Which most of them, it is written in numbers. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute when we dive into the process. So we are going to use the hardware ID to identify the kind of model we are holding and also identify the chipset, because Huawei devices, most of them, you have to deal with the chipset, not, the model itself, because the Huawei chipset, which is called high silicon, it is very complicated chipset, which if you don't know what you are doing, it becomes so difficult. So without further ado, again, let's dive into the computer. Let's go. So this is unlocktool. So if today is your first time using unlocktool, this is the interface you see. So I'm going to walk you through the steps so you will know how it works to remove the FRP on the Huawei phone. So let's click on the Huawei tab, right? So if you receive the Huawei device from your client, this is what you do. You have to put the phone off, hold the volume down, and connect the USB cable. When you do that, the Android logo, which is yellow fast boot mode, on your screen will appear. I don't have Huawei devices right now, but it's exactly what is going to appear on your device. So as you can see at the bottom of the Android logo, it says FRP locked. So you know that the FRP is locked. So this is what you are going to do, right? So first of all, when you get here and the device is on fast boot mode, don't select any model from this menu. Just click here, fast boot mode, and click read info. So if you click read info, you are going to get something like this. Let me show you. You are going to get something like this on your feedback here. So this numbers is called hardware ID. So these are hardware ID. So these hardware ID are the information we are going to use to find the exact model we are holding, because most of the Huawei devices, as I said earlier, you receive them and you don't even know the model you are holding, because they are similar, and also for security purpose they don't write the model at the back of the device. So you have to use the hardware ID to find the model you are holding, and also the CPU. So let's go to Google and I'll show you how you can utilize the hardware ID. So first of all, let's copy the first one and go to Google. So let's paste it here and search. So let's go to GSM Arena and see what we can find from there. So this is GSM Arena, and as you can see, if you scroll down to the middle, the chipset is MTK. So if you see that the chipset is MTK, it means that you can use the model of the device to find the right one and then work on it. So what is the model of this device? It is Huawei Y5P. So now we know that it is Y5P. So if we go to unlocktool and type Y5P, we will get this. And then we can select it and do whatever we want to do, whether Huawei ID or FRP or whatever we are trying to do, right? And do it from here. So let's check out another one. Let me bring the menu again and copy this second one. Let's go to the Google again and type this one right here. Let's paste it and hit enter. Let's go to GSM Arena again and see what we can find. As you can see, this device is also Y7 2019. Yeah, Y7 2019. So let's see what we can find from GSM Arena. This is Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, so it means that we can as well use the model to search for the right one. So this is Y7 2019. So let's go to unlocktool and search Y7, and as you can see, even if you type Y7, you will see the 2019 versions here. So you can use, as you can see, the CPU is also there, Snapdragon. So now let's go to the difficult ones, which even if you type the model, you are not going to see it. So which is going to be the last one. This is ALE-121. So let's see what we can find from Google. So let's close these tabs and paste that one here and search. So this is Huawei P8 Lite. So even if we know the model, let's say P8 Lite, let's open unlocktool and say P8, nothing happens, you know. Like unlocktool, you think that unlocktool doesn't support P8 Lite. So you type P8 and nothing will show because you are typing the model. That is when you know that you are working on high silicon CPU. So unlocktool work direct through the CPU. So now let's see how we can solve this problem. Let's go to the Google back, and then let's choose the GSM Arena again. As you can see, this chipset is Kirin 620. Kirin 620. So we copy the Kirin 620 from GSM Arena. Let's go to unlocktool and see what will happen. Let's clear this and paste it here. As you can see, the CPU is right there. So now you can find the CPU in the unlocktool, but we searched for the model and the model was not there. So this means that we are going to work straight to the chipset. So you can choose this one, and now you can see that these are the things you can do for on that particular chipset. You can unlock bootloader or fastboot mode, or you can also remove FRP. So before we remove FRP on this Kirin chipset, we have to do something called test point. So how do you know how to do test point, and even how do you know the location of the test point? So we know that this one is carrying 620, right? So let's go to unlock to T point. And this is the dialog we are going to see. Let's click on Huawei and let's search for P8. This one, we are just looking for the test point pin so we can enter the right the model. So P8 lit. So we select the P8 lit. And as you can see, this image is showing us that these two pins right here are the test point pins. So what you have to do is that you have to connect these two pins together. You use a pickup tool. Let me see if I have mine here. I'll show you. You use a pickup tool like this, as you can see. Then you bridge those two pins together and connect USB cable. When you do so, in your driver's manager, you will see something called USB 1.0 because Karin or high silicon CPU identify itself as USB 1.0. So when you see the USB 1.0 at your COM port right here, just know that the device COM port is connected. So you will see USB 1.0 here. So when you see the USB 1.0, you can go ahead and click erase FRP, and then it will erase it for you. That is how it is done. But the other models such as the MTK and also the Qualcomm CPUs, you don't need to use the chipset to find. You just type the model and you can find the device you are looking for right here. So when you find the device, let's say, okay, so let's use any of the models we see here to also learn something. So let's choose this Huawei Joy 10E. So as you can see, that particular device is MTK chipset. So if you click on it, or if you are trying to search for it, you can just type the model and it will appear. And then you can select the option you want to do, and also look for the test point pins and break the test point pins, and then you remove it using the model number. But when it comes to the high silicon CPUs or high silicon devices, you have to use the chipset to find the right chipset that support in the unlock tool. So that is how you do it for the high silicon devices, right? So there is another devices which is also very complicated to remove when it comes to Huawei device, which is the Honor models. Most of them are in the unlock tool, right? But the high-end ones, they are not in unlock tool. Unlock tool doesn't support most of the high-end ones. So Huawei have a token, I would say a code, which support every Honor device. So there is a software we use to do that, but to get the token, you have to order it. So I'm going to walk you through that process so you know how to order the token and also how to use the token. I'll as well give you a link which you can download the software and enter the token. So I'm going to walk you through a manual process which you can use unlock to do. Should in case you can't find the link or there's nowhere to download the software, you can use unlock to as well to enter the token, right? So this is the steps. Let's go to zebron.com, right? I'll show you something. So this is zebron.com, and if you don't have account, you can create an account for yourself for free. And if you do have account, you can just as well follow the process I'm doing. So let's click on this right here and type let me type my password. Verify robots. Okay, so if you log into your account for the first time, this is what you are going to see. Just close this notification make sure you read this note right here. It is very, very important. Then just close it. So for the first time, you need credit to purchase these two I'm going to show you. But let's say if you already have credit, then there's no need to buy credit. But if you don't have credit, you have to know the price of the token before you can go and buy credit. So let's go to order now and go to IMEI services, right? So at IMEI services, what we are going to do, we are going to search for Honor. So as you can see, let's scroll down. This is the Honor service I'm talking about. They have instant one, which is if you order it, it just comes instant, but it's around 680 Ghana cedis. And they have which is going to take 1 to 2 hours. This is 640, a little bit less. And they have which the one which is going to take, like, let's say 24 hours. The hours depends on the price. So if you want cheaper, then I think the cheaper one is I think this one is just I think it's the 24 hours. So I mean, you can check and order what you can afford. I mean, obviously. So let's say you choose this one. What you are going to do is that you are going to enter either the serial number of your device or your IMEI number of your device. But mostly I prefer you entering the serial number, because most of the device, when it is in FRP mode, what you mostly see is the serial number, not the IMEI number. So all the time, try and get the serial number of your device and enter the serial number here. Make sure you have this amount and place the order. So this service is specifically for Huawei device, which is named Honor. So it's for the Honor devices. So if you have any Huawei device, please don't go and use it. It is for Honor devices. So you click on it and then you enter the serial number. If you have the credit, place order. If you don't have credit, you can click on this add credit right here, and it can take you here. You can use Hoptel, DPO, Binance, OPay, Uganda Mobile Money, any of them. Hoptel can take your Visa card. DPO can also take your Visa card. So anywhere you are trying to pay or you are trying to make payment, you can as well use your Visa card, your credit card to make payment. However, if you feel like all these options you can't pay, you can contact us. There are so many options we can also provide, unless maybe you don't want to go that extra mile to buy credit, right? So when you get the credit, just go there and just click on the service and enter your serial number or your IMEI number and place the order. When you do so, you are going to receive a token. So this is the software you are going to use to enter the token. But before I dive into the software, I would like to show you one method in unlocktool, right? So let's go to unlocktool and just click on fastboot. Click on fastboot. Click on fastboot command line. We are going to type a few commands, right? So this is what we are going to see, right? So if you open the fastboot command line, this is what you are going to see. So normally the token will be in numbers, mix of numbers. Obviously tokens are numbers. So what you are going to do is, first, when this thing open, just type here fastboot devices and hit enter. So there's no device connected to my PC, but if there is a device connected in fastboot mode, all the devices will be listed here. And obviously maybe you are working on one device, so you see your device in the list. So the next thing you do is that now you see that you can see that your device is connected to your computer, right? So the next thing you do is that you are going to run another command, which is going to be fastboot space OEM space FRP dash unlock, right? So if you enter fastboot space OEM space FRP-unlock. So when you do that, then you give another space, then you paste the token which you receive. Let's say that this is the token, right? Whether you enter or I recommend you doing copy and paste, because maybe you may miss some of the tokens. So when you do it this way, just hit enter, and if the device is connected, you can see it will issue the command and your FRP will be unlocked from the device. It is very, very simple. However, if you don't want to go through all this stress, I'll paste the commands on the screen so you can see. So if you don't want to, advance yourself doing things like this, let me show you the easier way. I'll leave the link under the other page. Okay, so let's say, hold on, let me go to the zebron.com IMEI and type Honor again, Honor. So if you select any of the services, you will see here download. So you click on the download and you can download from our server to your PC, right? So when you download, I have it already, so let me close it. So if you download it, this is how it is going to look like on your PC. So this is how the tool looks like. So you see this space right here. This I don't think I can expand it, but if I can, no, I don't think I can expand it. So if you open it like this, boot your phone into fast boot mode by turning off the device, hold volume down, connect USB cable, and you'll see the Android logo. So when you see that Android logo, click on read info. This one, the fast boot one, not the debug one. If you click on read info, it will read the boot information. Even if you can't find the serial number of the device, you can use this software to read the serial number, because the serial number will show right here. So when you read it like that, you will find all the information about your device. So when you know the information about the device and then you have already ordered for the token, just paste the token here like that and just click unlock, remove FRP or FRP unlock, whatever the name is. Just click on this option and boom, just that one click, it will remove the FRP from your phone. So that is how it is done using the command prompt and also using the Huawei software. It is very simple. So today I believe we learned something about removing FRP from Huawei device. So briefly, I would like to also touch so many things before I bring the video to an end. So one, if you receive a Huawei device, boot the device into fast boot mode. Go to unlock to Huawei and read info. So if you read info, you will know the hardware ID. Copy the hardware ID and Google it. Go to GSM Arena and find the chipset type. If the chipset type is MTK, Qualcomm, just use the model number of the device, which is whether P something something or Y something something, to search in the unlock tool, and you can find the right model and select and do the process. So secondly, if the device is a high silicon device which is using carrying CPUs, copy the number and search that CPU number in unlock tool and you will find the right one and select it. Keep it in mind that Huawei devices, most of the time you will do test point. So if you don't have boot cables like harmony cables or any cable that will going to boot Qualcomm EDO cables and all that, most of the time you have to open the phone and look for the test point pin. So I also show you how or where you can locate test point pins in the unlock tool. However, or alternatively, you can as well Google it, because one way or the other, you are not the only person who worked on that device. So if you Google the test point pins, you can find it anywhere on the internet, and then you can locate where the pins are located and then bridge it and connect your USB cable. So the last one I would like to mention is that high silicon devices chipset present itself USB 1.0. So if your COM port is connected right, you will see USB 1.0. So that is, so I shown you about 3 ways of removing it. That is the one using the model and then removing it. Secondly, using the CPU in the unlock tool to remove FRP. And the third one, or the last one, is using fastboot mode with the command prompt and also the Huawei FRP remover tool. So these are the things I think we learned today. However, if you have tools like Chimera and all that, fastboot mode can also be one click on for most of the devices, and then it can be very easy for you. So if you like this video, don't forget to give me a follow. Also subscribe, press notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I post a video. My name is Zebron. Enjoy the rest of my videos. Peace.